The machine is blue. Already. Oh no. I have cracked the code. I think I want to try a vinyl on it. I may be slightly obsessed with vinyl now. Ayo, Ashley Monet here. I am here today because LokLik sent me a brand new cutting machine to try out and review, and this was actually supposed to be roped into a massive shop vlog that I have in the works covering my Valentine's Day launch that I just had. However, as I was editing, the amount of content surrounding this cutting machine was so much that I was like, this needs to be its own video. So there you have it. We're doing the LokLik review this video. The rest of the shop vlog will come out on Friday. But for anyone new here, my name is Ashley and I have a small online shop where I sell stickers, prints, bookmarks, all related to art that I've created right here on YouTube. So with a business like that, a cutting machine is really a necessity. I use my current cutting machine so much. When LokLik said they were gonna send me one, I was elated because if it works out for me, having 2 cutting machines will be a game changer. I will be able to finish so much more in so much less time. Now, disclaimer, LokLik and I have a bit of a history, not a great one. When I first decided to open my shop, the first cutting machine I ever got was a LokLik. Not this one. They sent me an iCraft, and the one that I purchased was a crafter, and I could not get it to work. I could not get it to cut stickers properly. Nothing wrong with the machine, but I could not calibrate it so that it cut stickers perfectly for a whole sheet. All of the stickers at the top of the sheet would be perfectly cut, and then by the time you got to the bottom, they would be all out of alignment and not cutting around what was actually printed. And I tried and tried and tried to troubleshoot, did not work. I remember LokLik did not have a very good help system with their software. So I ended up returning that machine and instead went with a Silhouette. Now I am more optimistic about this one, maybe just because there's a lot less writing on it since it was gifted to me. Doesn't feel as high stakes, but I'm gonna do everything I can to see if we can't get it to work. If it does, that would be so amazing. So enough of me talking, let's jump in and get to the review. Okay, so we're gonna start with the unboxing portion. Before we get into it, I have a little bit of a disclaimer. I don't know what's in this box, but I'm expecting that I'm not gonna be super stoked on the color. I think I had a miscommunication with the rep, and in her email, she told me that the white machine was out of stock, but I could either have bubblegum, blue, or lavender. And you guys know I hate blue. It's my least favorite color of all. And purples, I'm kind of like, whatever. But when I hear bubblegum, I assume pink. So I was like, okay, I'll take a pink machine. That's fine. So I said, I'll take the bubblegum. And they sent it. But while this was in transit, I ended up going to the website and discovered on the website that there is no pink machine. So it comes in 3 colors: Daisy White, which was out of stock, Lavender Purple, and Bubble Blue. So the way I read the rep's email was a color was bubblegum, a color was blue, and a color was lavender. Either way about it, like, it's not bubblegum blue, it is bubble blue. That's the color. So I'm pretty sure that's what they sent me, and now I have a blue machine, more than likely. Unless by some miracle, there is a bubblegum color that's pink that is not listed on the website. Unlikely, but let's open my probably blue machine. Oh, we have some extra goodies in here, not just the machine. So right on top, I have a LokLik foil transfer kit. I've never done foils with a cutting machine, but now I can. A deep point blade kit. So I assume the machine is gonna come standard with a standard point for regular cutting. This is for like heavy duty stuff like leather. A LokLik roll holder kit. So I guess if I have rolls of vinyl, you have a holder for them. Oh, man down. We have a scoring stylus that appears to have been detached. Let's just lift the machine and see what's under here. Oh, yep. And I can already see on the box that there's a blue square. Ugh. Struggle. Yeah, there's a blue square right there on top. So I'm assuming bubble blue. But there she is. I assume this is that stylus, but it's weird. I don't see the little like plastic sheath that would normally attach it to Interesting. And then here, I'm guessing just different materials, different vinyls. I don't know. It's just like a pack of materials thrown in. What do we got in here? Yes, so the LokLik signature heat transfer vinyl, they give this to you so that you can like do practice cuts with. I don't know why it has to be so obnoxious. Because if the practice cut works out, like I don't want something with this print on it. Also a mat. Oh, and I did want to mention, me personally, when I knew that this was coming, I bought some additional mats. If I remember from my time using mine, this standard grip is grippy grip. And it like shredded my sticker paper. So I got a light grip just so I can hopefully have some better results this time around. Even a little envelope. All right, this looks like user manual, quick start guide. Let's hold on to those. She's blue, all right. Feel like on Liar Liar. The machine is blue. If I choose to keep it, I'll just cover it in stickers and it'll cease to be blue. But here's what else came in the box. The fine point blades, USB cord, power cord, the pen so you can use the machine to draw, and a weeding tool. All right, let's go ahead and get this set up on my little shelf where it's gonna live. All right, this is where we're gonna want her to go. I will say it's very compact. She's hooked up. Now we got to get our blade in. So you just take off the little like safety cap. Steady hands. Just drop it in and it's good and locked. Then we unlock our holder. Lock her in place. She's all hooked up, set up, ready to go. Let's download our software. So the first thing I did was watch the quick start instructional videos. These were a complete joke. Like they were only about 2 minutes long each. They gave you a general idea of how the software works, very vague steps, and zero education on any of the buttons or controls in the designer. They mostly just pushed using the design library, which of course, because they charge for most of their designs in the library, so hey, that's how they make more money. I did learn from them that the first thing I needed to do was calibrate the machine though. I have never needed to calibrate my existing cutter, like it scans the registration marks and calibrates itself, but with this machine, you print out a little cut guide, the machine makes a series of cuts all over the page, and then based on where the cuts and the printed guidelines match, you enter that info and the machine calibrates itself. Okay, so I managed to get the software downloaded. I will say there was nothing in the literature that said like what website to go to. My last LokLik machine, I remember specifically like a card right on top of the machine when you open the box that said, you know, go here to get your software, just to kind of speed up the process. But I figured it out. Now the machine wants us to practice with this super attractive LokLik vinyl. So let's do that. Okay, the machine has done its little test cut. Let's check it. And it did not cut all the way through the material that it's supposed to cut through. I mean, this is the material that they tell you to use. See, it just says LokLik, but backwards because it's heat transfer vinyl. All right, well, let's play with the software and see if we can't get it to cut an actual design of our choosing. Okay, so I've already hit a snag, and this is very reminiscent of what I went through the first time around when I had a LokLik. It's very annoying. So I've got my page set up, theoretically. Go over to make, which is supposed to take you to the print and cut function. And unfortunately, it only is allowing me to select one of my sticker designs at a time, which is not going to work. We want it to print all together. I don't know how to group these together. It's not very like intuitive with the clicking and stuff like that. So, I mean, I've looked through all the tutorials. Again, they have like a 30-second video that is your video tutorial for this. They have a user manual, which doesn't cover the making process at all. So not really any help for you there. I know it's possible, so now I have to go to like YouTube and look up tutorials to figure out how to do it, which to me is just super inconvenient. Like, you should be able to figure it out in the software. So yeah, already thumbs down for the software. It's not user friendly, and I went through this a lot. Is just whenever there's an issue, you're not going to find it in their literature. Like, you have to go to YouTube and somebody else will tell you how to fix the problem. So once I get that running, we will do a print and cut sticker and see if I have the real problem, which I had last time, which was just the calibration. I could not get stickers to cut properly for an entire sheet. So hopefully that doesn't happen again this time. But so far, it's kind of going the same way it did the first time, which is disappointing. Okay, so I suspect I figured it out, maybe. I honestly don't even know if my sheet design is acceptable because I can't get it to show me the cut line around the image. So for all I know, the cuts could overlap each other. The cuts could go outside of the little registration marks. I don't know. It's not showing me. It's not red flagging me on anything, so I'm assuming everything's okay. But I have my sticker sheet. I did laminate it, and I've got it loaded into the machine. And because there is no setting for like vinyl stickers with laminate, I'm kind of just playing around with the settings and I'm going to see what works. I will say this cutter is extremely quiet. I remember when I first got my Silhouette and I thought it was broken because it was so much louder than LokLik. I do love how quiet it is, but I can already see that our cut lines are way off. So clearly the calibration, it no worky. We can try again, but again, if that doesn't work, there's no support to help fix this problem. Ugh. Oh no. Okay, so another calibration, another cut attempt. Okay, so yeah, this actually is not perfect. To the naked eye, it probably looks pretty decent. But let me pull these off and I can kind of show you guys what I'm talking about. Okay, so just on the mat with nothing on top, you can see the white outlines a lot clearer. And this is what I'm talking about. You see how much space in the white border is on the back of the leg with these upside down ones? Well, then look at the amount of space that there is for these right side up ones. Some of the cuts are good and some are not, but I can tell you now, for my shop, like that would be a B grade sticker. I would give that away as a freebie. I would not sell that with that border being so far off. The thing that I figured out that I was doing wrong that helped us get to a much better cut place the second time around, I had the sheet upside down. And let me tell you, that's not something I'm accustomed to having happened because with Silhouette cutting machines, when they print the registration marks, there is always a square in the top left. It's different from all the other registration marks. So you will never confuse which way your paper goes. Now, if I had printed this with all of my stickers facing one direction up, that would have been simple to like detect whether or not I had the sheet upside down. But because of how I configured this sheet to have some up, some down, so I could fit more on the page, it virtually looks the same upside down as it does right side up. And so with that, I got confused and turned it upside down without even realizing it. But when I went and did the cut calibration, I paid attention to where those marks were, and they're a little closer to the top edge of the page than they are to the bottom. So then when I go to cut the stickers, I know there's less space up top and more space on the bottom. So again, things like that could be addressed in the software to make sure that people don't make those kinds of mistakes. Right now, I guess I'm going to continue calibrating it. I did see, again, in my YouTube research, not anywhere on the LokLik software, but YouTube did say that sometimes you have to calibrate multiple times for it to cut properly. So I guess I can keep doing that. I will say I am not going to keep using my good quality, expensive sticker materials to figure this out. I'm going to try on just some cheap regular sticker paper. It's not even vinyl, just to see if I can get it to cut properly, and we'll go from there. Alrighty, a bit later, I am happy to report that I have cracked the code. I ran 2 more calibrations. That is a total of 4 calibrations that I had to run on this machine, which I mean, maybe that's the nature of the beast, but again, I'm a Silhouette user and I've never had to calibrate my machine once and it cuts perfect every time. So do with that what you will. 4 calibrations, and on the 4th one, all of the lines were at 0. They didn't need any adjustment, which I assumed was like the green light to go ahead and print. So I did, and I cut, and I am happy to say that all of these little stickers have uniform cut lines on them. I'll give you a close-up. So here you can see all of the borders look pretty uniform on each of these stickers.
Hello, I'm Carl, and I was cut perfectly with the LokLik after numerous calibrations and hard work from my creator.
But again, this is just on my cheap paper. These aren't even laminated. And so I took down the cut strength since there's no laminate on these, and now it didn't cut all the way through. So it's like a kiss cut on the sticker paper. But yeah, again, that's just learning the machine and finding out what strength you need to cut what materials. But we're there. Thank goodness we were able to pull it off. That means I can use this machine for stickers, which will be a huge help. Again, I'm going to have to putt around on YouTube, figuring out what I can to learn this software, because again, on the LokLik end, teaching you how to use the software, they don't. And to me, a big downside is the fact that I can't see the cut lines before I send it through to the machine. And I'm sure it has to have that capability. So again, I'm going to have to look elsewhere to find out how to do that. But yeah, tentatively, it does work. And I can't speak enough. Even Cody was in here with me and can agree that it is so quiet, this machine. I can't brag on that enough, especially, you know, in my situation. I'm often up in the wee hours of the morning cutting stickers, and, you know, poor Cody has to sleep through the sound of my cutting machine. So to have like a quiet one, I love that. I want to try a couple of other materials. I think I want to try a vinyl on it and see how it does. Okay, so on to the vinyl. I actually thought it would be fun to come up with some designs for my cups. First, this one for my water cup. It's a 1,000 Pound Sisters reference. If you're unfamiliar, 1,000 Pound Sisters is a TLC show about 2 morbidly obese sisters, together weighing over 1,000 pounds, on their quest to lose the weight. Now, they are a couple of pretty uneducated country bumpkins, but they are a hoot to watch. Anyways, in one episode, Tammy, one of the sisters, tells her doctor that she thinks she might be pregnant because she's been craving things she's never craved before. The doctor asked what she was craving, and she said water. So this sister, Amy, looks at her and says, "You ain't pregnant, bitch, you thirsty." Anyways, it tickled me, and I've wanted it on a water bottle ever since. Next, for my coffee cup, I'm just stealing from the wall decor I made from my coffee corner in the kitchen. Yep, that. I've always loved the Pomea cup, and now I shall have it on my coffee cup. The machine did a great job of cutting the vinyl. Super precise cuts were no issue at all. I did have a little drama in this spot where the vinyl kind of separated from the cutting mat and created this big fold. Now, this is my first time using vinyl, so I assumed that that's not normally something that happens with good quality vinyl. This was cheap stuff from the dollar store. I just wanted to give it a try. So here are the designs, all weeded and placed on transfer tape, and then I could place them on the cups. I definitely made these designs a little on the large side, but hey, at least they fit. One down. And for the next. Oh, love it. Love them. These were so fun, and I may be slightly obsessed with vinyl now. As far as how the LokLik performed, I don't see any issue. There were super precise cuts. I think if there was any issue with this, it was honestly the vinyl that I bought, which was cheap. I got it at the dollar store. And then maybe a little bit of user error because, like I said, it's my first time. But I mean, yeah, I can't fault the cutter for anything on this. It looks great. Okay, so my overall thoughts on the LokLik. Having seen everything I've seen, the machine itself, 10 out of 10. I think it is such an effective cutter, and oh, the fact that it is quiet, you guys, I can't stress enough how much I love that about it. The LokLik software, no, it is not great. They need to work on that. I would rate it like a 4 out of 10, and I feel like that's being generous. You just can't have a software and not give people tutorials on how to use it. The fact that I'm going outside of LokLik to figure out how to use their program, checking YouTube and whatnot, to me, I don't think that that's acceptable. Okay, it's not ideal. If you're one of those people that, you know, doesn't give up easily, is willing to put in some hard work and kind of figure things out as you go, it's not a big deal. I'm somewhere in the middle. Like, I'm no quitter. I wasn't about to quit, but I was annoyed. Very, very annoyed. Now, depending on where you buy, the LokLik iCraft can be anywhere from like $180 to $230. And it also depends like what kind of bundle you get, you know, machine by itself versus added vinyls and things of that nature. I feel like that's comparable to a lot of other cutters. The initial one that I purchased, the Crafter, was significantly cheaper than other cutters, and that's why I tried it first, because you guys know I love a bargain. So with this higher price point, I feel like it's a toss-up, because on the one hand, I have a cutter in that price point that is super user-friendly. It was very easy to pick up and hasn't given me any trouble. But LokLik has some features that cutter doesn't, like cutting quietly. Also, it comes with a ton of blades. It came with 2 fine point and 2 deep point. My Silhouette came with 1 all-purpose blade, and they are a fortune to replace, just putting that out there. Also, if you're aesthetic like me, the fun colors could be a sell or could be a deterrent. Me personally, I would love it if they came out with a black one, because that's my jam. But I know there's a bunch of you right now that are loving this blue, huh? Oh, the poor blue that ended up with me. So unappreciative. So yeah, weigh your pros and cons. It's a good quality cutter, I will say. The biggest drawback to me is the software. Real quick, I did get a discount code from LokLik. You can scan the QR code that's on the screen, and then at checkout, use the code LIK60 for $60 off. That's a pretty good deal. Now that I am acclimated to the cutter, now that I feel like I'm familiar with LokLik, I can show you guys my sticker creating process from start to finish. The first step of which is to create the art. So let's draw. Okay, so for my new Valentine's Day sticker design, I wanted to draw a sexy vampire mouth, but like holding a conversation heart in their teeth. Eventually the heart will say love bites, but I don't trust myself to freehand text for stickers, so we're gonna add it later in my photo editor. Okay, we have our art. Now it is time to scan it into the computer. Once I have the scanned image in my photo editor, I work on erasing the background, leaving only a white border that I want around my sticker. Now, I'm sure there are a number of programs that can do this with the touch of a button faster and more efficiently, but hey, your girl doesn't have that, so we do it the hard way. Next, I can add the text. Love bites. A little bit of color adjustment, and it's perfect. Now we have our transparent sticker image, and we can bring it into the cutting software. Import the image, arrange the sticker sheet like so, print it out on matte printable vinyl. Then I laminate them for extra water resistance. The standard I use is a glossy clear laminate, but for this particular design, I want to go fancy and do a holographic laminate. I just apply that over the top with a felt edge squeegee, trim off the excess, and now it's time to cut. I stick the sheet on the cut mat aligned with the top left corner, load it into the cut machine, and for the cut settings, I usually bump the force way up. In this software, I made the force 8 and did 2 passes. In Silhouette, I make the blade depth 7, force 30, and also do 2 passes. That's for die cut stickers anyways, and the cutter really does the rest. Voila, stickers! Okay, there you have it. I am a happy camper. Again, the software could definitely use improvement. LokLik, please work on that. But as far as the machine itself, I got it cutting the way that I need it to, so I am happy. That is 2 cutters for me. My business is gonna run so much more smoothly now. So thank you so much, LokLik, for sending me this machine. And they've even been generous enough to give me a little discount code for you guys to use. Now that might bump it into a totally different price range and make it a lot more appealing. Certainly it would for me. So if you guys want to take advantage, act quick. If you need a cutter, I tell you, you will not find one quieter. Oh, I'm so stoked about it. This is officially my late night machine. Anyways, yes, there's still a lot more to see as far as my small business goes. Like I said, I will be putting out a massive shop vlog on Friday, covering my Valentine's Day launch and everything I used this cutter for. But that's it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.